spectrums. I'm going to give a little bit of additional context here. So if you listen to music, you know that music is made up of different instruments. Typically, a lot of common like rock music, a lot of even pop music is going to have guitars, drums, bass, maybe sometimes piano or keyboards, and then maybe occasionally some other instruments. But pretty much you got guitar, bass, drums, and singing vocals. So I made this chart as I was doing research, and the idea here is that this is the entire frequency spectrum that humans can hear, all the way from 20 hertz up to 20,000 hertz. And there's kind of three different sections, or four really. There's the bass section, which is the bass in music, HVAC rumble, and deeper human voices. There's the 300 to 3000 hertz range, which is most of human speech and singing, as well as classroom or meeting room din, which is like kind of like background. That's the din is the term for it. 3000 to 8000 hertz, which is glass clinking, cutlery noise, babies crying, and alarms and sirens, which is obviously that's a pretty key auditory range there. And then 8000 and up is like fluorescent light buzz, electronics whine, and like air. It's like the more like the sibilance and the hiss of things. So on this chart here, you see that these are the three sections, and I've kind of roughly marked them here: the 30 to 300, the 300 to 3000 approximately, 3000 to 8000, and then 8000 and up. But here the key thing is this red bit here, the human speech intelligibility zone. That is a mouthful. You could say the HSIZ. But that bar is 500 hertz to 4000 hertz, and that is the primary frequency band in which we most use and we most need to understand and process speech. So again, I've marked that along this thing vertically. So all of these instruments sit within it, as well as both male and female vocals. And then kind of above here, there's something called the hearing vigilance range, which is like, again, alarms, babies crying, glassware. So basically kind of from like 500 hertz up to about 8000 hertz, which is a big chunk of the auditory spectrum. It's almost half of the entire range that we can hear. That is, the speech intelligibility zone and the hearing vigilance range. And guess what? Look what's going on here. You've got all these instruments, all of the fundamentals and formants of all these instruments in human speech and singing. And then in the hearing vigilance range, you've still got a lot of different instruments. Some of them don't go fully up into the top end of the hearing vigilance range, but they're there. So this is to show that music contains all the same frequencies that we need to hear voices over, we need to understand speech over, as well as needing to hear like alarms, babies crying, in glassware. So if you're at a conference or an event and there's food happening, there's going to be that extra like glassware clinking sound that you've also got to filter with everything else. So that is just to say that there's a lot of frequency competition in that band, competition for our voices and for hearing each other. And this is why it's a problem to have, music and, dishware and all these different things happening at social events. To make it easier, I reformatted this chart that I made, and I stacked all of the instrument frequency lines on top of each other. You can still see the human speech intelligibility zone marker here with like a kind of a faint red kind of rectangle around this section. What you can see here very clearly is that every single one of these instruments, including the human speaking and the human voices, exists within the human speech intelligibility zone. They're entirely overlapped. Some of them end just outside, just above the end, just above the top edge, and some end just below the bottom edge, but they're all in here. And so that means that anytime you have music playing at the same time people are talking, even if there's no vocals in the music, any instrument that's in that music, whether it's guitar, bass, drums, piano, brass, woodwinds, all of it, it's all competing with that same frequency spectrum that we are trying to hear, which is obviously a problem. you can only fit so many things in the same space, right? Like it's the classic Simpsons bit with Mr. Burns.
Here's what happens when they all try to get through the door at once. Move it, shout ahead. We call it Three Stooges syndrome.
That sort of idea. So, while we do have some capability to, there's the thing called the cocktail party effect, where we do have some, we do, but it varies person to person, but we do technically have the ability to kind of tune in to individual sound sources and kind of hear them and block the other stuff out. But you can't do that for hours on end